Hello, my babes. I'm going to tell you how to handle it when someone says something completely out of pocket as a joke. Because so often, before I tell you, I want to take my slippers off. Before I tell you how to deal with it, let's talk about so often what we see. Let me just check my watch. What? You've earned another hour towards your stand goal. Thank you. So often we see people saying things completely out of pocket and they know what they are saying is gonna hurt somebody's feelings, but because it's a joke, it's just a joke. Why are you so serious? Why are you so sensitive? You need to lighten up. You should stop taking things personally. That's what we hear. When they get it right, what they're aiming to do, they're aiming to hurt feelings, they're aiming to make you feel anger inside, they get it right. And then you are the wrong one because the way that they intended to make you feel was the way that you ended up feeling. But now you're the bad one. Or you match the energy, they say something out of pocket, you say something equally out of pocket, and now, oh my word, did you have to react like that? You're overreacting for what? It was just a joke. Jeez. Person can't even make a joke with you. It's like you can't win. It's like if you do this, you're doomed if you do, doomed if you don't. It's a doom, 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 doom. Let me tell you how to handle it, my vibes. If somebody says something that is supposed to be a joke, it sounds like it should be a joke, but it makes you feel some type of way. You just ask them one simple question: is this supposed to be funny? Is this supposed to be funny? Is that supposed to be a joke? Is that supposed to be a joke? This is going to do a few things. First of all, it's not going to give them the response that they egging you on for. They are trying to provoke a reaction out of you. That's why they said that joke. They want to be a clown. They want everybody else to laugh, but it's not a joke if everybody isn't laughing. If there's one person that isn't laughing, if somebody is being pushed down, if somebody is being belittled, undermined socially, then it's not a joke. Then it's bullying. Then it's not a joke. So now you need to succumb to the social pressure because everybody's laughing. Now you also need to be the butt of the joke so that everybody feels okay. We know it wasn't the right thing, but everybody's laughing, so it's fine. No, it's not. It is not. And you ask, is this supposed to be funny? The other thing that it's going to do when you're asking that question, besides starving that person of the reaction that they want to give, it's going to help them to reflect on what did I just say? It's going to communicate to them, it's going to let them know that what they said is not funny. You aren't finding it funny. The fact that you are questioning the fact that, like, is this supposed to be a joke? It lets them know, uh, sk. If they continue, most of the time the person will try to double back. They'll try to like, oh, I'm sorry that you didn't find it funny. Yeah, it was just a joke. It was just a joke. They'll try to minimize. They'll try to walk away from. They'll try to walk it back. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those words. They'll try to walk it back slowly so that there's the least impact to the way they are, how they're being seen now, they're being perceived now, right? If this person continues, if they're still pressing, what you can tell them is get new content, work on your content. If you want me to find this funny, work on your content. Simple, easy, done. If they still press and they still continue, you can ask them, how does this make you feel? Kry jy 'n lekkerte hierin? Are you feeling satisfaction? Are you getting joy out of this? How is it making you feel to say these things? It's nasty. But you don't tell them it's nasty. What you're communicating is this is not landing the way that you think it lands. That's actually also a good question to ask is, how are you expecting this to land? How are you expecting me to take this? So you're saying this to me. How are you expecting me to take this? You could also ask, what are you trying to get at? What are you working towards? What's the end goal here? You said that, okay, cool, you said it. What are we working towards here? All of these are going to deny an emotional, that you're not going to give that to the person. Questions are not a response. And what these questions are going to do is they are going to allow the person to reflect and see, oh, snap. I don't know if you remember what I shared with you a while ago. If you can't come to these quickly, you can also say, hold on, wait a minute, whoa, wait. I'm not ready to get into this. I don't know what this is about, but I can't get into this with you right now. So those are how you can go about handling those kinds of situations when people are trying to humiliate you by making you the butt of the joke. And you don't have to feel like there's only one option of laughing with everybody because you want to keep the peace, or to blow up at that person to put them on their place. You can put somebody on their place in two ways. The first way you can put them on their place is to have everybody look at you and be like, damn. I mean, we know what that person said was sideways, but you didn't have to go in like that. You did too much. Or you can put them on their place in a way that lets them know, no, and it keeps your hands clean at the end of the day. You need to communicate in a way that keeps your hands clean, and that is going to help to be an effective speaker. It's going to build more positive relationships in life. We can't always control what other people say to us. We can't control the things that they say, and 9 times out of 10, we can't control our immediate emotional feeling that it stirs in us. We can't control it. But from that point, we can decide how we want to deal with it going forward. Do we want to fester that feeling? Or do we want to see it for what it is and then handle it on a different way? Because you can't blame somebody else for your actions. How do I say this to you, my babes? If somebody hurts your feelings, right? Yes, your feelings were hurt. Yes, they intended to hurt your feelings, but you can't blame the way that you felt and tell that person, look what you made me do. You are not Taylor Swift. That is not okay. Don't blame other people for your actions. Nobody can make you say anything you don't want to say. Nobody can make you do anything you don't want to do. And if you did something, it's because you chose to do it. Not look what you made me do. No, you need to have self-control. You need to have self-discipline and self-control. And if you don't really don't know what to say, my babes, you keep quiet. You just go silent. That is always going to be your best response, is combine the silence with a bewilderment, a confused look. Silence is never going to be misquoted. Nobody can ever misquote silence. If you don't know what to say, mm, and if you ever want to revisit the conversation when your feelings are a bit more calm, they also out of the audience, because you have to understand when people are in a group, in a crowd, they want to perform. Clowns always want to perform in the circus. Okay? So, in a group setting, that is never the time to have a kind of conversation where you are asking the person clarifying questions, clarifying intent. A group setting isn't the time to be doing that. Right? These tips and the tools that I'm equipping you with, it's for one-on-one conversations. Private conversations offline, one-on-one. These are not for group dynamics. I can get into group dynamics if you want me to. But for now, just know that these are all for private conversations, one-on-one with the person. And when you want to circle back after you've observed your silence with your look of, really? You can send them a message or a phone call, or if you see them again next time in person, it's your friend, you go up to them and say, you know what, I'd like to circle back to that day when you said that. Did you intend to humiliate me? How did you want me to feel in that moment? I'm trying to understand where you were coming from, and always approach it from that angle, because maybe they didn't even have the intention of making you look bad, and it was a side effect. They wanted to be funny. That's all. They just wanted to be funny and make everybody laugh, and they didn't even know that they were hurting your feelings in the process. It wasn't even a malicious intention. So you always come from an angle of, did you intend to belittle me? Was it your intention? Did you mean to come across offensive? That's a one-on-one conversation you have at a later point when you are ready to revisit it. In the moment, you were silent, so you want to pick it up again. That's how you can pick it up again, and you take it from there, my babes. Use your kop en ons dit sê, and not your whole it's holiday. That's all from me for now. See you in my next one, guys. Bye.